Greetings, dear listeners. You're listening to Money and Me, and I'm your host for this session, Abhirag Parashare. Today, we have a very special guest with us, one of the world's most secure and well-known crypto exchanges. BigONE Exchange is here to talk to us about their offerings and where they stand in today's crypto industry. And their representative, Katherine Wong, their investment manager, will be joining us. Hi, Katherine.
Hello. Hi, guys. I'm Katherine from BigONE Exchange. Currently, I'm here as the role of investment manager. Nice to meet you here. I'm really happy to share with you the insights and our BigONE information to you guys. Thanks for listening today.
Great. So, Katherine, let's cut right to the chase. BigONE is a big name. First of all, big fan of the name. It kind of gives a vision right there, like it's big and it's here to stay. So I'm very interested to know about the vision that led to creating BigONE, because it was founded in late 2017 when the Bitcoin bull run was going on. So talk to us, take us through the journey of BigONE. How did you guys get here?
Actually, for the purpose that BigONE found is just to provide the best crypto trading experience to the users. But after we take a look at the crypto world, we find our vision is to bring the fast, safety, and win-win situation to all the users and investors around the world. And we want to reach like a kind of goal, like we can win together in the world. It's not like competitors to face some competing events with each other. We want to see what kind of things that we can bring together to the users and to the community.
Right. So BigONE is registered in Singapore and deals with clientele from China, Singapore, even have an office in Korea. Now, what happens is a lot of media focuses on what happens in Europe and America in terms of crypto trading. A lot of Asian trading is not very well circulated or not often talked about. So since you guys mainly deal with Asia, tell us about the crypto trading scenes in Asia.
Actually, at the beginning of BigONE build, our majority of users, they are located in Asia. Basically, the majority of the users, they are Chinese speakers. And after that, we explore the business in Korea, in Japan, and South Asia. Actually, in our opinion, we checked the data of last month. For our platform, we have 6 million registered like Asian users last month, and we think it will break through 10 million users as expected in the next following months, which I can personally tell you, we think the Asian users has the great power in crypto world, and they also bring the best volume in the trading platform.
So if I may ask, in the Asian crypto trade, which cryptocurrencies are the most popular ones?
If you are mentioning about the stable coins, would be USDT as the most favored tokens by Chinese users. If you are thinking about contract trading, like margin trading, maybe the mainstream tradings will be nice, like BTC and EOS would be more popular among the Chinese users and Korean users.
Right. So since you have a huge clientele from China, the regulation policies of crypto, of course, affects your company very much. So my question to you is that China recently released the digital yuan, which is the world's first operational CBDC. That's a pretty big move for a government like China to pull off. So do you think this is going to create a trend and other world governments will soon follow suit and create their own CBDCs?
My answer is definitely yes. The purpose for doing this kind of innovation in China is like we want to solve the paperless payment method, because in some rural area, the citizens, they don't really have the website to do the digital asset transformation. For example, as you may understand that we have WeChat Pay and Alipay as the digital payment, but it's kind of like different, like the tokens and cryptocurrencies in our world. And for the CBDC, we want to solve this problem for the users. Like if you don't have internet, how you can trade by a paperless site. This is the first purpose. And actually it has more potential and imaginable space that you can do some innovations in this part. So I think and I believe all the countries will focusing in this part, since it also solve the problem for money laundering. It also can do the let's say traceable asset management for the rich level. So it will help the country to solve the problem for the money laundering and other asset issues.
Do you think the growth of CBDCs might hinder the potential of other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and etc.?
In my opinion, currently not, because right now, like we do some destination in some main cities, for example, in the south part of China, and the user environment could be like retail payment. So if you buy a bread or a box of milk, you will not use Bitcoin, right? You will use the digital currencies, as I mentioned. So currently, it will not cause any conflict, but in the future, I think it depends on what the users want. I mean, if you want to use the CBDC to trade something overseas of China, it could be hard. But if you use crypto, for example, if you want to buy a Tesla last month, you can pay by Bitcoin. So it depends on the user's expectations. But currently, no conflicts. Yeah.
So you mentioned Tesla. You might be knowing this, but recently Elon Musk tweeted that Tesla will not be accepting payments in Bitcoin anymore due to environmental concerns. So the reason I brought this up is because China is set to produce a majority of the Bitcoin circulating in the world right now, and they probably mostly use coal to power their mining services. So do you think these environmental concerns raised in the production of Bitcoin, do you think these are valid? Do you think there's a way in which we can cater to the environment while also ensuring the security of the Bitcoin network?
Mentioning about the environment, actually, my personal opinion doesn't present BigONE's opinion. Anyway, right. in my personal opinion, for the environment impactions, not only Bitcoin mining work. I mean, we have a lot of factories around the world. Also, somewhere in this world, they always have wars. So there's a lot of stuff cause more environment, more than Bitcoin mining stuff. So in my opinion, it's just kind of like an excuse to stop using it, concerning about the safety issues or the regulations in their region. I just say this, but I don't think this is a huge problem, because I know, for example, some tokens, they are trying to seek any other ways. For example, like Huobi, they have Heiko chain. They want to save more energies. They are seeking for the solutions. So right now we just find the problem, but we can fix it in the future.
Right. Let's talk about the expansion goals of BigONE. So the US audience is one of the largest crypto audiences in the globe. But if I'm not wrong, BigONE does not have a substantial input into America. So are you considering moving to the US audience anytime soon? A, and B, how different are the American regulations as compared to the regulations in Singapore or China?
Let me answer the question B first. In America, they have more regulatory problems, in my opinion, because for each state, they have different policies. So if you trade Bitcoin, maybe you get some profits, but in the meantime, you will receive a tax paper for you to pay some kind of like taxations. So it's quite annoying in America, but in Singapore, in China, we have different approach. For example, in Singapore, the regulation is more referring to the sandbox regulation. But in China, we are more keen into the blockchain technology itself, not in the crypto world. You can do some trading in the cryptocurrencies, but our government has a perspective like, before we figure out how it works exactly, we better just calm down and take a look what other giants they are behaving. I know that American, they are doing some like compliance work about the fiat money deposit and transactions. Also China, they are thinking about if we can manage in this way, and then we start to explore the crypto world a little bit more for the citizens. So basically the difference are Singapore, they are focusing on the sandbox regulation. America, they have a lot of taxation problem. And China, we are more focusing on the blockchain technology itself, but need to see how they will react in the crypto world. And for the question A, for if we want to open a US branches in North America, we are considering about this because as everybody knows that US, they have the best technology in the blockchain part, and you can always find some nice project coming from North America. So if you want to be the winner in the industry, you have to be close. So it's definitely in our plan to opening offices in the US. But before that, we want to make sure about the compliance problem with them. And before we definitely sure we can open a team there, we are starting to do some investment there. We have some partnerships in Canada, basically in Toronto, and also in Silicon Valley to help us seek some nice project in the primary market. And we already get some contact. For example, like the team feel, we start to working together to solve the problem for the readable address for deposit for users' wallet. So it's kind of like a movement, but more in the investment aspect. If you are considering about trading or have some users there, it will be in the future.
So since you brought up investments, my next question to you is BigONE recently invested into the crypto exchange economy, which is Canadian in nature. So take us through the thought process that went behind it. How is BigONE planning to leverage this and expand themselves globally through such partnerships?
BigONE, for example, why we invest in BigONE? Since I mentioned about we want to figure out all the regulation problems, so that's the first reason we want to take a look on BigONE. They have the MSB license in Canada, which means they have they are legal in the North America, also in New York State. So for being partnership with them, we can better to enter into the market or maybe take a look into the market in the US and trying to understand how they work, how the user's preference. For example, for the UI design, as you can just observe easily, for Asian users, they prefer all the functions listed on the platform. It's more complicated, but for the Western culture, they prefer everything in simple. Right. So this is the first way we want to take a look how we can provide better service for different region users. And secondly, since BigONE, they have many years in the many experience and working years about the compliance issues. They will figure out how we can better enter into the US market, also into Canada. We listened a lot about their ideas and opinions about the Western users, and we want to make the global expansion step by step based on reasonable logic. So this is why we invest to them.
Right. So BigONE prides itself as one of the world's most secure crypto exchanges. So tell us about the layers of security that you employ to guarantee that your users' information, or rather crypto, is not stolen.
I think for all the trading platforms, we require KYC verifications. The KYC process are mainly similar to, I mean, any of the exchange, they have almost the same KYC process. The security management is different. For example, for BigONE, just for each year, we will spend more or less 30% of our profit into the constructions of security and risk control. We also partnership with some expert teams in this sector just to make sure everything is nice and stable. I mean, if you talk with other exchange, I am not sure if they can offer this much higher percentage to invest in this sector. And the second part is because our team constructions, for example, the security team of BigONE, they have more than 10 years of crypto asset management experience. Maybe not all of them are joined the BigONE at the very beginning, but they have experience in other platforms. And you know that crypto exchange are not really exist for more than 20 years. So I think we are kind of the leaders in the industry. And maybe if you take a look on a website which called Certified, you will find there's some scores they want to make for each exchange. In the past, we always be the top one to have the highest scores for security and safety. And this year's, even Binance, they rise up, even the Coinbase, they rise up. We are still in the top 10 list. So you can see in different perspectives that we invest a lot, not only in money, but also in the team members, in humans. So we believe that for this reason, we are the leading crypto exchange for security, safety, and safety.
So how large a team does BigONE have?
Do you want me disclose a number of how many staffs that we have?
Approximately.
I cannot give you an exact number, but I can give you the configuration. The majority of our staffs, they are the tech guys, and the tech team are located in China. And for the marketing team and management team, also investment team, they are in different international branches. For example, in Russia, Latin America, and Korea specifically, we have a strong marketing team there. And for North America and London, we have investment team there. More or less, will not less than 200 staffs, but I cannot give exact numbers.
No, I was just asking to get an idea of how global a BigONE is, and your answer has given me an impression that you're spread out in different countries and different continents. So I think that brings a lot of good perspectives into what you guys want to do ahead.
Mm-hmm. Actually, we just want to give professional service to different users. That's why we open the international branches, and we also hire the staff locally in their regions. They will know their users better.
Right. Let's talk about, so BigONE is very popular for hosting lesser known tokens. This is something that I myself have gone through the website and seen. So tell us about the certain steps which tokens have to do in order to get listed in BigONE. Like what's the procedure?
Mm-hmm. If you are talking about the process, we have like different. We have two approaches. First one is we screen the projects by ourselves. We find the best practice in the industry, and we contact them by ourselves and try to build connections. Sometimes, if the project is really nice and really good for users, we even do free listing for them. And another approach is like the project, they find us by themselves. We have the access for sending an application for listing on our exchange, on our website. And after they give us their application, we will do like internally screening about their technical stuff, about their value for the users, if they have some innovative ideas, which we can explore further, and then we will decide if we will list them. Sometimes kind of listing, we will charge them a little bit service fee, depends on different projects and also depends on the value.
So do you think your users are favorable to accepting new tokens which come in the market?
It's hard to answer because different users, they have different preference. For example, the Russian users, they prefer the projects which launched in Russia. Also, the team are Russians. If the US users, not US users right now, but if the English speakers, they prefer the projects from the US. They think they are more innovative. They will have higher volume after they have listed on the exchange. So we're just trying to understand different different markets' needs, then we find which one is more suitable for users. And also when we do some marketing promotions for the tokens, we will have different efforts in different markets. If we have a token which favored by Korean people, we will open like Emma sessions, especially for the Korean users. We will do some kind of like airdrops specifically for Korean users, just to provide the best case for different users.
Right. Is there any other country you're planning on expanding to in the near future?
Actually, we have some contact in South of Asia, and we believe they will be a great volume. They will bring a great volume to us. But since the pandemic starts, we haven't really start any operation there. But we think in the near future, South of Asia and the US will be our first priority to set up office there.
Right. So before I head to the final question of the interview, I would like to ask a personal question to you. So Katherine, how did you find yourself in BigONE? What was your journey like?
At the very beginning, I finished my education, and then I joined a traditional consultancies. And after that, the crypto just arose, and my friend told me, "Hi, do you want to do something cool?" And so the first thing attracted me is something cool. So that's why I joined the crypto world. And after I joined the company, I find myself is more specialized in the investment, like due diligence, and seeking for projects, and maybe allocate all the resource globally, since the Silicon Valley's resource of BigONE, basically I explored it. So my role currently is like to find the best place to invest and find the best projects to work with. This is my role here.
Right. So the final question of the interview, I want you to tell us about, so you said that BigONE invests 30% of their profits into security. So security is something that BigONE takes very seriously. So what is that other one feature or trait that BigONE wishes to prioritize in the coming years?
We want to, for BigONE, maybe currently is just to provide a reliable and stable service. But in the future, we want to reach the goals to be one of the top leading exchange in the world and provide the best service for each region users. I mean, we can observe that for some kind of exchange, they provide nice service, but it's not really favored by all the regions. We want to customize the service for each region's users. This is our goals in the future.
Well, all the best to you, Katherine, and all the best to BigONE. I hope you guys keep doing the good work you're doing, and hopefully you can make it to that list of world's top exchanges. Thank you so much, Katherine, for coming on.
Thank you.